welcome to the Deliverance Network. Thank you for joining us. If it's perhaps your first time joining, consider subscribing so that you receive our updates regularly. And of course, all of the things that I'm sharing with you, the messages, can be found in writing at www.thedeliverancenetwork.com under Messages from Jesus. And I'm going to share today a word I received this morning at adoration, November the 7th, 2023. And it's a very urgent word from the Lord, especially as we find ourselves in a time of promulgating war. And he says, "Tender is my providence throughout history. Sacred is my ordinance of love, yet mankind has obliterated his relationship with the divine by disobeying the command to love. War has flourished due to the complete abandonment of my command to love. Never in history has there been such hatred as exists today. Verily doth humanity profane my great ordinance of love. Blessing is given to all who choose me, yet mankind hurries to hate instead. Rest your hatred, children. Come to your God. You will never be at rest." And I got to tell you, there was a huge pause there. I'm going to talk about that after. "You will never be at rest until you come to love." The gap I just gave before the word rest is intended to show that everyone must bear patiently with their neighbor. Love demands patience, children. Learn to be very patient and always consider the needs of others. Go now and release this message for my children, Karen. The great patience that you gave today reflects the type of patience that I ask from everyone. Go, rest the pen now. The gap is my great patience displayed once again. Go, your holy Jesus. And I have to say, because I sit and I record and I literally hear the words one at a time, usually it's quite slow and very metered and paced. Sometimes gaps, sometimes a few words in a string. It's never just spilled out there when the Lord speaks a word for me. But as he paused just before the word rest, when he says, "You will never be at rest until you come to love," I really had to sit for quite a while. And I started thinking, okay, where have you gone? Shall I get up and go about my day? And I paused, and I think it was the longest pause that I have experienced in over a year of recording these messages, interlocution, I guess they're known as, from the Lord. And I love the fact that afterwards he tells me why, and he uses the gap, the rest, the pauses as a way of illustrating what it is he's trying to impart. You know how they say a picture can paint 1,000 words? I find with the Lord, his words are very illustrative, and so's his silence. When he chooses to pause, what he illustrates through his pauses. And he has spoken repeatedly in many messages that I've shared with you lately about his immense patience with mankind. And it must be because this is thousands and thousands of years of evolution history of mankind. And he has not, come and done anything dramatic, and we're still waiting, especially in Catholic circles, for the second coming of the Lord, in Christian circles, and purportedly an illumination of conscience that comes prior to that. So great indeed is the patience of the Lord. When you see the headlines, you see the evil, you see the sadness, the suffering. It's not because he doesn't care. It is because he's being extremely patient and allowing time for mankind, each and every soul, to grow and to learn and to come into relationship with him up until the moment of death even. And so God has been very, very patient. He's asking us to bear patiently with our neighbor. And I have to say, for those of you out there who think, yes, that's easy for you to say, I have to tell you, without saying too much, it is not easy for me at all. My own life circumstances have demanded immense patience with those around me, and I have had to bear great difficulties. And it is only the grace of God, really, that has helped me to do it half decently. I'm going to say half decently well. And he gives me the strength to pick it up and keep going with my cross day after day. It isn't that there isn't pain. It isn't that there isn't suffering. It isn't that there isn't frustration. or unbelief at some of the injustice that's committed from one person to another. But the difference starts with you. And I've always told my children this, no matter how another person acts, you're responsible for you. So you make good decisions. You make better choices. You not reacting, act with love, and you will create a difference in your own life and in the life of everyone around you, and that'll magnify in circles around the world. And boy, do we need it in our time now with the way the headlines are screaming at us about the way the world has gone to war. So I ask you to take this word again seriously into discernment and share it far and wide. And please try to choose to love. Thank you for joining us at the Deliverance Network. God bless.